ReZero Season 3 Episode 8. Well, we finally have a moment of peace. Yeah, no, and no. Alternatively, die, and die. Reinhardt is here. Oh, you did? Okay. Overreaction much? You never mentioned this. So, okay. Why don't you explain now? The original. It's like the Bible that Jesus wrote. Very cryptic, Otto, but thank you. Right. Thank you, Reinhardt. That's sort of the point. Yeah. I guess we protect them. Oh god. I'll bet it did. I'm done killing. For now. Yeah. Oh, thank God. 2 birds with 1 stone. Yeah, if you're surprised that she's okay, then you were doing something wrong as her knight. I don't think she really needs a knight, though. I think she just keeps him around as a witness. If the whole world is your garden, you need someone to praise your garden. I gotta say, I'm liking Priscilla more and more by the minute. The fire sword was a big turning point in that, but the way she just took out Liliana and ended my suffering, I consent and approve of her putting her foot on other people. Rude. It's my natural right to take revenge. Yeah, she liked it. You are rewarded with my presence. Thank you. Like, sort of unironically, though. Al's philosophy seems to be sort of along those lines, yeah. And I don't hate it, honestly, as it's come up in shows. I've never really objected to the whole, like, take care of you and yours first thing, as long as that doesn't come with, like, throwing someone else under the bus or kicking them off of your carriage. And, like, if everyone took care of them and theirs in an ethical way, there would no longer be anything to take care of. Idealism is great and important to think about and fun to talk about, but, like, your ability sort of has to scale with it, or else weirdly you risk ending up in kind of unethical territory where you're meddling in things where you have no business meddling. So the whole, I'm Priscilla's knight, this is my role, I'm gonna do that, even if that means turning a blind eye to the rest. It's not the ideal, but I definitely understand it, and it's like better than a lot of philosophies. As opposed to, for example, being so preoccupied with things way outside of your sphere of influence in life, to the detriment of what you actually should be handling and the people who are relying on you. This is embarrassing for Al in front of all his friends. Gee, I can't think of one reason why not. Roswaal? I think it was more than that. But not for me. I'm the unforgiving type. Well, I don't know if you feel guilty. Okay, I mean, I guess it's worth checking. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I would totally read all of these things, all these works. You could have, like, I don't know, you could have talked about it, but, I mean, not a big deal. I also enjoy the fact that Otto continues to be the thorn in Roswaal's side. Just arc to arc. What are the chances we call it to Echidna in this arc? Do I dare to dream? The Restorer also feels like a little bit of a liability. And what happened to her? Crusch just cannot catch a break. She lost sort of her spiritual identity and then her physical. Oh my god. Okay. See, I assumed she was a dragon, but I guess... Oh, okay. Alright. Okay. But she's still human, just considering what it could have been. As long as she survives. How is she able to fight it? I guess Felis healing? Oh! What the hell? Did it heal her? Oh, keep touching her. Oh, we can do this. Well, we have like some kind of, you know, dragon magnetism or something. And Subaru has some kind of immunity. Yeah, this is definitely worth pursuing. One little bit at a time, though. Oh, this is great. This is great news. This is amazing. This could have been so much worse. Why? Why not? You're destroying yourself. Yeah, but we can heal it in microdoses, no? Wow. Yeah, I was thinking this just logistically. You did make a big promise to a lot of people. And that was what I was worried about, partly. You have to follow through on that now. If it's not lethal, right? Like if we can get her stable, then it's good to know this is on the table and we can do this later, maybe. Man, that's how that goes sometimes. No, it's understandable. It's frustrating. For some reason, Full Metal Alchemist Roy Mustang's famous and amazing philosophy comes to mind, where the power of one person doesn't amount to much, but I'll do whatever I can to protect the people I love, and they can protect the ones they love in turn. And therein lies humanity's strength. This is Ferris lamenting the fact that she can't directly take care of the person she most wants to help. But there's maybe another really nice way to look at it, which is, rather than it being specific to the who, it's the what. So, you have some unique set of gifts based on your unique individuality and circumstance that is probably perfectly and best suited for one very specific thing, and that is your contribution aligned with your potential. I mean, maybe that's even what potential really means. Maybe that's the grade, the way we can assess potential. And maybe intuitively there's something less satisfying about that, because it's just way easier to get that kind of emotional satisfaction and gravity from the things we know, can touch, can feel, the things by which we're emotionally compelled. And this relies a little bit more on abstraction. But by doing that, even if it's not direct to your intended target, you are doing that for the world, which is certainly somebody else's loved ones. And so it's no less good or important. And for everyone to do that, which is maybe like the highest thing you could even be asked to do, you end up with the same sort of cohesive web, if not even stronger, because everyone is playing the role they're best suited for. And probably for a lot of people, that will end up being just their family and friends, the people around them that we have direct relationships with because we know them and we can treat them well and take care of them, being the closest to them and the ones that know them the best. But that's not always the case. I mean, speaking of scaling, right, it just depends where your gifts lie and like what domain, what sizing is appropriate. For a second, I thought Bellis was healing him in microdoses, but I guess not. Okay, yeah, they were too powerful to just be lackeys, right? What? How many different ways can this woman die? Is this good news or bad news? Oh, it's necromancy. This is bad news. Or is it? Probably bad, but maybe good. No, I mean, I think we should all just be open all the time now. That's our weapon. Enough with the secrecy. No more secrets and lies. All I had to do was see Reinhardt. Basically. So it skipped a generation, right? That's not Reinhardt's fault. Yeah, poor Reinhardt. For real, he didn't want that. He wouldn't have chosen that deliberately, knowing what happened. So it is good news? I don't know. Well, that means there's part of her in there. I don't know what to make of this. I don't know enough about necromancy. It's hella confusing. In a very mundane way, this is true of life as well, where, it's so easy to be envious of people and what they have without knowing what they did to get there, or the price they had to pay. People are so envious of Reinhardt for his special gifts and the way their girlfriends always talk about him, only to find out that that came at the cost of his grandmother's life. After that, I mean, they're still extremely envious, but, with some reservations. They're good matches for that. Yeah, that's well chosen. This is revenge for asking me to get snacks all those times. Oh. Thanks? That's great news. He just can make up new powers when he wants them. He just channeled that. Yeah, he's like, I need this gift now, and I shall have it. I mean, they're pretty low, so. Yeah, what's wrong with you, Bonzo? Or whatever. Maybe she's not as immune to emotional manipulation as it seemed. Yeah, I mean, I think they're the most obvious pairing. Who do you pick for Lust? I think Subaru has to do Regulus just for personal reasons. Maybe teamed up with Julius. Maybe Garf and Wilhelm for Lust. Lust, just from what I've seen of her, seems like the least physically threatening of the group. And also, I don't know, vaguely, something about Garf's ability to already transform. Maybe can shake up the poison. Plus, he already has experience killing women. And I guess that leaves Reinhardt for Sloth. Yeah, the threat, she's one of those bosses that creates all those mini enemies that get really annoying.
屍兵と呼ばれる禁術で操られる剣士です。
Alright, I guess we can say that much. One of them is my wife.
もう片方の女も同じような立場だろうよ。
So we knew that it was a woman?
恥ずかしめる屍兵の禁術は色欲の滞在司教の趣味思考にかなっている。
That's true, I can see that. There's some overlap
確か
there.
に納得はできる。
Yeah, exactly.
お前はお前でつけなきゃならねえ決着があるはずだ。
Oh yeah, Mimi also.
その役目は僕が引き受けるべきです。
ラインハルト、私を、お前の祖父を誰だと
Yeah,
思
he's
って
still
いる。
the legend of Wilhelm.
平成でないことなど、戦場にある私には左半時だ。
It's a good point. Let the man make his own choices.
お前には俺と一緒に強欲と戦ってもらいたい。
What about Sloth, then?
ならば誓ってほしい。君が僕に期待するように。
That's so kind.
互いに
What an honor.
必ずやり遂げようと。ああ、任せとけ。君とおじい様の勝
A
利を
one-way
信じてい
rivalry
る。
becomes a friendship.
僕はスバルの剣になろう。
Hard to keep hating people who are stronger than you when they're so nice and generous and recognizing of your gifts.
お前の足りない部分はどうにか補うから期待しててくれよ。どうした？
Lacking.
大いに期待してくれ。俺もお前に期待してるから。
For real, we need you, Reinhardt.
最後に残った暴食やけど
I guess that's Julius
はい。暴食は私とリカードが引き受けよう。
and Ricardo.
よし、やろうぜみんな。この戦い。
I'm feeling pretty good about this. I feel pretty confident. I mean, you know, such a stacked roster and all. So I'm like perfectly set up for heartbreak.
花嫁衣装は格別だ。
The way it brings out your face, the most important quality in a woman.
以前その番号にふさわしいと思って見初めた女性がいたんだよ。だけど迎える前に不適切だと判断して空席にしたんだ。そのおかげで君に出会えた。
What, did she close the door suddenly or something?
結婚の前に私からいくつか話しておきたいことがあるの。
Wow, this is rude, really derailing the ceremony right now.
実は僕の方からも話しておきたいことがあってね。大丈夫。妻として
You must now be silent forever.
僕と結婚した後、君には笑顔を禁じる。
That won't be difficult.
普通にしてたら可愛いし綺麗なのに、笑うとブスになる子っているじゃない？
That's such the opposite of what it usually is. I still don't know fully what to make of it yet, you know, the whole virgin soul thing. But it makes it sound like he wants a shell. Like he just wants a shell with no ghost. Ghost not in the shell. It's a comical level of like objectifying. Like he just wants an actual object. They're just little collectibles to be put into poses or I don't know, whatever people do with collectibles. Just sitting there in your computer. No expressions of humanity allowed. Except crying. I mean, maybe crying's okay.
僕、あれが許せないんだよね。だから、表情変化はまとめて禁止だ。笑うな、泣くな、怒るな、喜ぶな。
Speaking of severance, you will enjoy all aspects of our marriage equally. You will loathe all elements of our marriage equally. I don't know why I always feel obliged to bring up supporting points on the heels of a terrible Regulus scene, and also in support of lust points. There is probably something inevitably objectifying about relationships. All relationships, but especially romantic relationships, and that's okay. One point of evidence is that we say, I want a girlfriend or I want a wife without having one, which means it's not a person yet. You're not liking anything about a person because that person isn't real yet to you. It's just you want something for yourself. Same is true of childbirth for that matter. But it doesn't preclude actual generous, responsible giving and a very specific and unique love for the other person once they enter the picture.
僕に何か文句でもあるの？これだけ君に配慮と情報をしてるのに。思いやりがわからないってことでしょ？それ
I mean, in his mind, he has been.
僕という一個人を軽視する行いだ。
Very rude.
僕の権利。
Natural rights and all that, yeah.
結婚ってすごく幸せなものだと思う。
What's funny also is I don't fully agree with Emilia's view on marriage.
たくさんの人の中からたった一人を見つけて、そしてその相手も好きになってくれて。
It's a beautiful thing, yeah.
それって本当にすごいことだと思う。
On that, I agree. I'm not even fully set on this myself, but just something interesting to think about. A romantic relationship where two people are getting great things from the other doesn't necessarily have to be attached to marriage. I mean, that could just be dating, right? I mean, just you can just spend the time together. Another way to look at it is that a big part of marriage is children and legal rights, and there's a lot of other stuff in there. It's like school where there's a lot of things in there mixed together. It serves multiple functions. Like, is school really for the education of the individual? Is it not also in large part just daycare because of the damage having all these youths running around would cause? And so parents can go work and be productive in society? Is marriage really about the union of two people who really enjoy being together and help each other grow? Isn't that also about making a committed unit that can collectively build a unified household that serves as kind of a node of society? At the very least, it's complicated, and depending on where you put that skew, you might even say that the most important part of a marriage isn't happiness or love, but duty. And in fact, if you over-rely on one's feelings about the other person, since feelings are not really a choice so much. They're highly fluctuating things and will change as you change and as circumstances change. That actually maybe is a very flimsy way to look at union. That actually maybe a more solid thing to lean on is responsibility and like a promise, no matter how you feel. I lived in the international dorm in my second year of university, and I went to this event for that country's people. I won't say the country. The topic of arranged marriages came up, and the conversation around that topic was overall very disparaging. And then one person, I guess, felt uncomfortable and revealed that their parents were the result of an arranged marriage. And then like one by one, everyone at the table who had been disparaging of it revealed that their parents got together in the exact same way, and then reported that they had very happy families and childhoods. And I think just generally that's sort of incompatible with what I was raised to believe. But it did put a little bit of a chink in the armor in my view about, you know, marriage is something for you and your feelings and your happiness, and if maybe there isn't more to it at the very least. To tangent even more, I sometimes wonder if that isn't the big twist of our whole lives, that it's not about us at all. That it's not about what we can get or like how we feel, but what we're doing, how much we're contributing, the good we're providing to the world, as opposed to gratifying our fluctuating emotional states. Counterpoint there, if you go down that extreme, I think probably everything just collapses because people are so bitter. It might just be a hybrid of like the subjective me and my wants and my needs, and like higher order things that these are vows I cannot break. What exactly is Emilia's plan here though? Just like have a big confrontation? Own Regulus at his own wedding?
それって物事の外面にこだわるのと同じで、いかにも上っ面な関係性だよね。
Oh, is that an admission?
スバル？
エミリアタンって呼んでくれる声にスバルの気持ちが詰まってる。
You're not a soul virgin after all, are you?
名前ってそういう思いが込められてるはずだもの。
あのさ、スバルって誰のこと？
This is so real. Just ignoring everything else, getting stuck on another man's name. Admittedly, that is kind of rude, like at a wedding.
たとえ大した関わり合いのない相手でも傷つくよね。
I'm on Regulus' side here.
動くな。動いたらそいつの首から下を消し飛ばす。
Erased from the neck down. That is a way to put that. He's being very patient right now.
なあ、わかるだろう？
What is so difficult about this? You have a beautiful face. I'm Regulus. What more do you possibly want? Number 79. I'm going to throw this out as a crazy controversial statement just to put the idea out there. Can anyone convincingly tell me? Imagine a man whose sole desire in a life partner is a pretty face. And based solely on this woman having a beautiful face, he marries her and from there upholds every single possible virtue you could expect out of a husband. Is that worse than the majority of what we have now in relationships? Where, to Lust's point, it's about my deep feelings of love for you because you are a special person and it was something divined by the stars. It only could have possibly been you and Capricorn, Pisces, or whatever, I don't know. And we both like the same Netflix shows. I was sad and you were there. You are in my proximity now and I'm grateful that I'm not alone. What made you fall in love with your wife? Pretty face, that was about it. But best husband. Never cheats, never lies, kind, contributes meaningfully to the household, great with kids. Like, I don't know. There's something there, right? That's void because you want to believe you're special, that he couldn't have found anyone else. Another contrarian point, is it not just as special, if not more special? Actually, neither of you are unique, but you still ended up together and made this promise for life. It's not that it only could have been you. It's that it could have been anyone or any number of people. And yet, you both made this lifelong promise together that you will fight to uphold. I'm dying single, confirmed. Things to never talk about with my girlfriend. Part 5000. There's that meme format, right? He or she's a 10, but he's a 10, but he chose you for your face.
結婚は付き合ってる男の人と女の人がするもの。でも私にはその資格がまだないの。だって私。男の人を女の人として好きになるってことが分かってない。
Are we airing our romantic grievances here?
それってすごくひどいことで、スバルを傷つけて困らせてるのも分かってる。だけど、まだ人を好きになるってことが分かってない私だけど。
This is sort of infuriating.
誰のことを好きになるかはもう決めてるの。だから。
What do you get? Okay, I'm lost.
あなたのものにはならないわ。
Oh, that's perfectly fair. I mean, reasonable, but why did you bring us here to the wedding? Just to embarrass me? Oh no, I don't like this. I don't like that I'm being pushed into the Regulus camp here. I feel very uncomfortable. In a weird way, if I'm interpreting this correctly, I think actually she's coming around to my view, where it's like, what is the love exactly? I mean, love is such a multifaceted thing. It's sort of an injustice to pin it into one word. I mean, I think the ancient Greeks had this figured out, but we still get that confused. And it's like, I'm just gonna choose Subaru no matter what I feel, because he's great.
君みたいな勝手な浮気女を妻にするつもりなんてなくなったよ。せいせいするな。
Your timing was impeccable. What did you just hit him with? Subaru's timing, once again, impeccable. Even without a retry. He got it with a door. The whole door. This is pretty rude, yeah, as far as rudeness goes. Wow, that is so Regulus. So greed. The wedding is canceled and he still expects a wedding gift. The one I'll love someday. Well, like, on that count, you're a little bit late, because that was done. But still very cool, very romantic. Extremely awe-inspiring, and the stuff of future legendary dinner conversations as a couple. All right, since I've already dug this hole so deep, and there's no way digging myself out of it, I'm just gonna dig it deeper. Maybe I come out the other side. What was Emilia's plan exactly? I mean, one thing I can imagine is that, you know, there's a whole procession that clues Subaru into her location. But other than that, it seems like she just had the wedding to embarrass Regulus. Which, I mean, you know, it's well-deserved, but it's not exactly like the full thought-out concrete plan I was expecting, and felt more like there was just something she wanted to express and get out there. Really doing my boy Regulus dirty. Regulus is so fun, man. He's just so comedically amazing. But like, I actually would like to just have him sit down and explain his full reasoning. I bet there's some really great and interesting stuff there. In fact, one thing that came up the other day was that there maybe is some overlap between Regulus and Priscilla. You know, like the whole thing is for me, but how one is on the heroic side, one is on the villain side. And that's not just an accident of location or faction. It may be more because of the differing levels of responsibility that each of them bring to the table. So, you know, Regulus, everything is for me, the end. Whereas with Priscilla, everything is for me and it's beautiful. And so I have an obligation to provide for it. That also, I would argue, is a much bigger, very important idea, where it's not just about what you can get or what you're provided, but also your own role, your own contribution. It's really difficult to tease apart because with a lot of these ideas, there's a very good reason and a deep wisdom behind why we have them. You know, so like, you're special by virtue of your birth. That is absolutely true in regards to like the sheer raw beauty and potential of each human being. But then it's over applied to what basically boils down to something like, well, I'm alive, why don't I have everything I want? Thing exists, so I have a right to thing, without really considering the interwoven relationship there of like, you have to provide an equivalent or greater measure. You can't just be doing all the taking. I mean, that also is very Regulus, right? It's my right. Everything is my right. But like, why? Wanting something is not the same thing as having a right to something. You don't have a right to things that are not yours or not earned. Regulus is such a great character because through his ridiculous extremes, it hits the radar as something for scrutiny, but like tracing it back to its roots, there's a little bit of Regulus in everyone, even if that sounds crazy to say.